तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अजानुलम्बितो भुजो कनकवदातो संकीर्तनैकपित्रो कमलायताक्षो विशंभरो द्विजभरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वृंदाय तुलसी देवी प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। One more time. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Remembering the divine lotus feet of my spiritual masters, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurudev, an entire Guru Parampara, to all associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and to all associates of Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari, to Shri Radha Madhav, by remembering and paying obeisances to all of them, and by heartily welcoming everyone, even in the midst of this hurricane storm. Many devotees, they dropped the idea coming. Maybe they're watching online, but the important factor is to listen no matter where you are. And actually, Facebook and internet is a trouble, is good, but it's also trouble for many preachers because everyone find comfortable zone staying at home and listening. But anyhow, listening is more important. Yesterday we spoke something about greed, lolyam. This greed, which is so inherent in us and which have many directions. We are greedy for many things. And also we have lust, anger, greed, envious, all that. Yesterday we heard how we can transform those lust, anger, greed which is in us. So Narottam Thakur, Sri Narottam Das Thakur, he is giving us a very good remedy. How we can engage lust, anger, greed in the service of Krishna. Because it's impossible to get out of it. It will always be there in us. In the last breath, till the last breath. But we know how to change the course of lust, anger, greed, envious. So we heard yesterday, Kam Krishna Karmarpane. The greed is there, but then we can engage that greed in the service of Krishna by greeding for many objects and engage them in the worship of Krishna, in the service of Krishna and his devotees. Like beautiful house, big car, etc. Krodh, how to engage the anger in the service of Krishna. Everyone has anger, more or less. And when we get angry, we always point out this finger, index finger. Hey, I will shoot you. I will arrest you. I will beat you. I will bind you. I will kill you. But is anger good or bad?
Depend on the intent.
Depend on the intent. Krodh bhakti dveshe jane. One can engage or purify the anger by implying anger to those who are against my Krishna and the devotees of Krishna. And the best example is Hanumanji. He set fire the whole country, Lanka. And he didn't incur any sin, any offense. The whole country was being burned, not just one house. Many got burned and died there. But no offense to Hanuman. Because the intent was not to burn Lanka, but to show to Ravan, if the servant of Ram have so much potency and strength, you can imagine by this what is the strength of my Lord Ram. Krodh bhakt dveshe jane. As Hanuman, he exhibited his anger to those who were against his Lord. Chaitanya Bhagavat, this book Chaitanya Bhagavat, written by, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat? Vrindavan Das Thakur. And what is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat? The glories of Mahaprabhu? No, the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur, as who is he? He is Ved Vyas. Srila Ved Vyas, he wrote Bhagavatam, the pastimes of Krishna. So with the intent of writing the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, he begins Chaitanya Bhagavat. But because he is disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, moment he remembered the glories of Nityananda Prabhu, his course changed. Instead of glorifying Mahaprabhu, he started glorifying Nityananda Prabhu. Naturally, spontaneously. Because he is eternal associate of Nityananda Prabhu. And 5 places in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he wrote, Eto parihare papi yadi ninda kore, tabe lati maru tar shir upare. Understand?
No.
I heard you speak fluent Bengali. Eto parihare papi yadi ninda kore, tabe lati maru tar shir upare. Even after hearing so many glories of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, if anyone criticizes my Nityanand, I like to kick on the head. Is this Vaishnava etiquette? To kick on someone's head? But Vrindavan Thakur is showing this anger. But it appears like an anger. So there are 2 perspectives to see this. One can say this is the anger of Hanuman towards Ravan. Another perspective say no, that's the love of Hanuman for his Ram. It's anger, but devotees, they don't get anger. They don't have anger. Their anger has for some reasoning and for auspiciousness. So what is auspiciousness in being Vrindavan Das Thakur, eternal associate of Nityananda Prabhu, hitting on someone's head? There is auspiciousness. Because it's so difficult to get the foot dust of a pure devotee. It's so difficult. If you ask the foot dust from a pure devotee, you think they're willing to give you? And what is the glories of the foot dust of the devotees? Krishna says, Anu vrajameham nityam puyat renu angravi. I run after my devotees to get their foot dust on my head. Krishna, running after his devotees to get their food test. So what is then auspicious if Vrindavan Das Thakur is showing this anger? I want to hit on someone's head. Baba, it's easy to get food dust then. That doesn't mean we have to start criticize Nityam Prabhu to get food dust. That's pratikulena Krishnanushilanam. That's not in a favorable mood. But the point is, even if someone criticizes after hearing the glories of Nityam Prabhu, because he's Avdut, his activities, his pastimes are not ordinary. He's Avdut. Avdut means he's mad, but not ordinary mad. Aapki billi aa gayi. He's mad in Krishna Prem. Even cats, they want to hear glories of Nityam Prabhu. Everyone has complete rights, right? Animals, birds, aquatics, insects, ghosts. Everyone is qualified to hear Krishna Katha. तो क्या बोल रहा था मैं? He's Avdut. Kabuhu Lampha, Kabuhu Jampa, Kabuhu Attahasare. Nityam Prabhu, sometimes rolling on the ground, crying and weeping, sometimes laughing loudly. Because he's totally mad in Krishna Prem. You know the glories of Nityam Prabhu? He's been 36 years old and jumping on the lap of Malani Devi. Who's Malani Devi? The wife of Shivas Pandit. Jumping on the lap of Shivas Pandit's wife Malani Devi and start drinking her breast milk at the age of 36. Because he's not in his senses. Where is his senses? His senses is in Krishna. He always believes I'm a small boy, baby. He don't believe I'm grown up. You know, many people can say it's mental autism. But this is madness. Transcendental madness. Shri Nityam Prabhu is like this. Sometimes he becomes naked. Sometimes he becomes sannyasi. Sometimes he wears silken cloths. But he's having not ordinary qualities. This is craziness. Transcendental craziness. And creator Brahma, destroyer Shiva, and Vishnu, they hankering and longing to get the food dust of Shri Nityam Prabhu, who is acting so crazy. Brahma desires to get, Shiva desires to get, because unparalleled qualities of Shri Nityam Prabhu. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, I would like to hit on someone's head who's criticizing my Nityam Prabhu. This is anger of a pure devotee, which is very auspicious. See the anger of Shri Naraji on two sons of Kuber, Nal Kuber Manigriv. What was their offense? They came naked in front of Narad, swimming, having water splashing pastime with naked ladies, and seeing Naraji coming on the scene. All those women, all those ladies, they covered their bodies. But these two boys of Kuber, they came and started abusing Naraji. Why you came here? You spoil our mood, our enjoyment. Naraji felt pity on them. Oh, you are sons of Kuber, and you are in intoxicant state. Intoxication is not about drugs. Intoxication of youth. Intoxication of beauty. Intoxication, my father is very rich, influential person. That intoxication. So Narad exhibited his anger in the form of a curse. You know? But not in abusive language. That's a saintly quality. Even they exhibit anger, but anger is very polite and very sophisticated words. So Naraji anger, he cursed those two boys of Kuber, Nal Kuber Manigrib, in a singing tone, not in abusive word, singingly. You know, I curse you. You have no shame. You are standing naked in front of me. Then may you become naked forever, become trees. That's the curse of Narada. They became trees, but because the anger of pure devotee like Narada, they became trees in the courtyard of Shri Nanda Maharaj in Braj. Where? In Gokul. And which is so difficult for the demigods, it becomes so easily accessible for those two personalities, the cursed personalities, being as trees in the courtyard of Nand Maharaj, witnessing all the pastimes of Krishna, all childhood pastimes of Krishna, which is so difficult for the yogis to perceive, so difficult for the demigods to see. They have no access, but they got his access. How they got access? With the password of a curse, which is blessings in disguise. The curse of pure devotee is also blessings in disguise. And what to speak of then blessings? If the curse is like this, then what to speak of blessings? So that's the anger. When we go temple, I think you all go Sunday, no? In a temple. So devotees, they bring for the Lord some flowers, some fruits, donations, all these ingredients. But the Lord sitting there and he's kind of thinking that what you're offering to me, I already have in abundance. Fruits, oh, I have so many fruits. Donations. I'm the Lord of the universes. Flowers, I have so many gardens. So this is not what something I need. But oh my Lord, what can I do? I can only offer this. No. I want something which I don't have. And you have so much. To a surprise. Asking Krishna, what is that which we have so much and you don't have? I thought you have everything. Krishna said, no. I don't have lust, anger, greed, and envious. And you are full of that. Warehouse full of lust, anger, greed, envious. So if you want to offer something, then offer me this. Give me your lust. Give me your anger. Give me your greed. And on the top of that, give me your envious mood. We immediately get envious. Seeing someone is singing good. You know, Isha was singing, I got envious to her. How can she sing so good? I was thinking I'm a great singer, but when I heard her, totally smashed. And also Achyuta, Radhika, great singers. So Krishna is expecting us to offer this, and we are holding back. No, if I give, how am I going to enjoy? We hold back. But is holding back is auspicious for us or not? No. We have to offer this. But purifying these negativities by Kam Krishna Karmarpane, by offering our desires in the course of pleasing Krishna. And how is this possible? Atma Indriya Priti Vancha Tate Bole Kam. Krishna Indriya Priti Vancha Dhare Prem Naam. Somebody asked me this question. What is that subtle line or discrimination that what I'm doing is for me as self in the center of that, for my pleasure, or Krishna is the center? That's very important to know. In our daily practices, in our chanting, in our services, if it is for me, for my pleasure, self-interest, or if it is Krishna interest. So, Atmindi Priti Vancha. For example, Arjun. Oh, Keshav, I don't want to fight. Rather, I go beg alms for my survival. But by killing my cousins, my superiors, my elders, I don't want to enjoy the kingdom. I just want to become a beggar. I can't see this. Did Krishna like this idea? This formula applies there. Atmindi Priti Vancha means Arjun is only thinking about himself, his self-interest, whereas this is not Krishna interest. And Krishna trying to make Arjun to bring him to Krishna center. No. Take your bow and arrow and fight. Parantapa. This is called Krishna Indriya Priti Vancha. Those activities which are meant to please Krishna. What Arjun is thinking, even though he is speaking wisely, but Krishna didn't like this wise ideas. That's your wise idea. It's pleasing your mind. It's not pleasing my senses. That's a fine line, very subtle line. Just like if Shrikant Prabhu had desired to eat Rasgulla, Mataji brought Rasgullas. So, just one example. He's chanting and is thinking, oh, Rasgulla was so delicious. Let me go out and get from Indian store Rasgullas. So, he went out, he brought Rasgullas, put tulsi and offered to Gaurnitai, his deities, and he took prasadam. Anything wrong in that? No. Yes, nothing wrong in that. And another day, remembering any Hari Katha, thinking how Krishna is so fond of sweets, that when he's sitting with his sakhas, his friends, especially Madhumangal, who is very fond of sweets, right? Chhala bale laddu khai Shri Madhumangal, bagal bajaye bolo, dekho Hari bolo. You know this song? In Madhyan Arati, in the temples, Pujari sing this. Bhaja bha katava sala Shri Gaura Hari, Shri Gaura Hari sohi Goshta Bihari, Nanda Yashomati Chita Hari Bhaja bhag. So anyway, in this song, Chhal bale laddu khai Shri Madhumangal. In a very tricky way, Madhumangal, he grabbed laddu and he eat that laddu, and he is an art of putting his hand under his armpit and make a sound and dancing Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So remembering this pastime, Shrikant Prabhu thought, oh, Krishna is fond of eating laddus and rasgullas. So I should go out and bring some rasgullas for my deities. Same activity. He went out, bought rasgullas, put tulsi, offered to deities, and he took prasadam. You know? What is difference between these two activities? is same, right? Opening garage, going to store, bought rasgullas, and put in a bowl and put tulsi leaf and offering and then taking prasadam. Same activity. No, it's not same. In the previous example, the intent was to eat rasgulla, to please my senses, self-interest. In the second example, it is Krishna interest. For the pleasure of my deities, for Krishna. Even though activities in the both cases are same, but the intent is different. It is called Atma Indi Priti Vancha. When the activities is for one's own nourishment of one's senses, for one's pleasure, there's self-interest. And when it is for Krishna interest, Dhare Prem Naam, then you adding on in the account of Prem, means more and more love develop with Krishna. Understand? So, my purpose of chanting, my purpose of serving in temple, my intent of attending any satsanga, my intent of honoring prasad, all our daily practices, we can very easily judge with this barometer if it is for self-interest or if it is for Krishna interest. My travels, my work, my family, my every activity. So there are two ledgers. Self-interest, Krishna interest. So no need to judge others, we can do self-judgment. If my all activities is for self-interest or is for Krishna interest. And if it is more on Krishna interest, Dhare Prem Naam. That is what prema is. Because attaining Krishna is not the goal of life. Is attaining Krishna goal of our life?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Then what is the goal?
Krishna Prem.
To attain Krishna Prem is the goal of life, not Krishna. Krishna is already attainable. You have Krishna, right?
I don't.
We all have. He's there. Krishna is just here in the form of Paramatma, but Paramatma. But the art of bhajan is to make the source of the Paramatma, Anadir Adir Govind, Sarva Karanam Karan, the cause of all causes, the cause of Paramatma, to make that Krishna bring to the heart, not just Paramatma. So what's the difference? The difference is Paramatma is just, he's inactive. He don't display any pastimes. There's not so much reciprocation. Even though Paramatma is expansion of Krishna. But it's only acting as a witness. Only witnessing our activities. The example given in Shveta Upanishad, just like two birds sitting on a branch of a tree, one bird is eating the fruit and another bird is just witnessing. So Paramatma is just witnessing what we are doing. But he is not exhibiting any pastimes. But making Krishna come and appear in the heart, that's the glories of one's sadhana and bhajan. So, if I have to bring Krishna in my heart, then from where to get Krishna? Which store, which marketplace to get Krishna? To get from the heart of the devotees by touching their heart. Because sadhu hidim ayyam, sadhu hidim tamham, mad anatyata jananti, nahu tebhyo managapi. Srimad Bhagavatam, the example of Amrish Maharaj. Krishna is saying this to Durvasa. I live in the heart of sadhus, and sadhu resides in my heart. I don't know anybody except my sadhus, and they don't know anybody except me. We have very loving, close bond between us. And this is because they have bind me in their heart. How they bind me in the heart? With a rope. Mai nirbandh hidaya sadhu samdarshinam vashe kurvanti madbhaktaya satpatni satpati yatha. Krishna is speaking this. Bhagavatam. Just like a chaste wife, with her chaste and loving services for her husband, she controls her husband. Not controlling other way around, but with her loving services, with her dedication, with her surrender mood. Provided the husband also have to be chaste. So Krishna is saying, I am chaste and my devotees are chaste, so we have a very good combo. Similarly, chaste wife with her loving services, she controls the chaste husband. That's the only way to control and capture me in the heart. And by doing so, I can very easily claim that I am not independent. Even though Bhagavatam, Vedas, Puranas claims that Krishna is independent, his Supreme Lord. But here Krishna, he claims I am not independent, I am dependent. Dependent on whom? Aham bhakt paradhina hai aswatantra dvija. Oh Durvasa, I am not independent. You know, Durvasa, he went to Brahma for protection. And Brahmaji said, I am not independent, I am dependent on Krishna. Then Durvasa went to Shiva. And Shiva said the same thing. I am not independent, I am dependent on Krishna. Then Durvasa came to Krishna and Krishna said, I am not independent, I am dependent on Aham Bhakt Paradhina. I am dependent on my devotees. So here comes the point. If one wants to attain Krishna Prem, we don't have to approach Krishna for this. How to achieve bhakti? Not from Krishna. Krishna don't have bhakti. Who is bhakti? The devotees of Krishna. By approaching the devotees, one can very easily get bhakti. Because if we approach Krishna, there can be a failure. Why so? Because he is very determined with his calculative nature. Ye yatha mam pravadante tam sathe bhajame. In Bhagavad Gita, what is the meaning? Chuta? As you approach me, I reciprocate you accordingly. If you worship me 25.65%, I reciprocate 25.65%. Not a cent here and there. He is very calculative, so there is no point approaching him. Because he is going to see all our flaws. Go and get qualification, then come to me. This is what Krishna is going to say. Any evidence to this? Any evidence, devotees? Where Krishna sent someone away? You read 10th canto Bhagavatam? Must read Bhagavatam every day. Must. If we really want to be Krishna conscious, and if we really want to grow in bhakti, the easiest way in this age, iron age, to get proximity with Krishna is something similar to Krishna. And what is similar to Krishna? Bhagavatam, holy name, and deities. This is called Tadiya Vastu. Tadiya Vastu. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Means Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam teaching us how you can approach me. And by reading Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya. What is Nitya means? Not daily. The word Nitya is not daily. Eternal. Eternally. Oh, the sun rays come nitya in my room. For how many minutes? For a couple of minutes. That's not the meaning of Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya. Nitya doesn't mean every day. Here Nitya means eternally, every hour. How are we going to work then? Yes, you have business meetings. Everyone is working. How we can read Bhagavatam eternally? By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam aswadito rasika saha. That's also a condition. To hear Bhagavatam from whom? From not from non-devotees, but hearing Bhagavatam from the lips of devotees. How does this makes a difference? Bhagavatam is Bhagavatam. It's pure, sublime. Yes, it's pure. But Srila Prabhupada used to give this example. A Vaishnav Mukhodgirnam Putam Hari Kathamritam Shravaneva Kartavyam Sarpachishta Yathapai. Just like a milk touched by the lips of a serpent, looks like milk but it's a poison. Yes? And if you drink that, what's going to happen? Finish. But it looks like milk. So Bhagavatam is pure. But when a non-devotee, it touches Bhagavatam, then the non-devotee infuse his non-devotional interest in his speech. And when it goes in our ears, because this is the media where Krishna enters in our heart. What is that point where Krishna goes enter in our heart? These two holes. Ears. How is possible? Krishna is so transcendental. How he can enter here in the small tiny holes in the ears? Because he is subtle. Very subtle. If the soul is so subtle, what is the size of the soul? 1/10. 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. Keshagara Shatbhagasa. If the soul is that subtle, then imagine what is super soul. And the source of the super soul means Krishna. He enters here and comes in the heart. That's the only way. Therefore, Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya. Eternally, Avaishya Mukhodgirnam. When a non-devotee, he infuses his non-devotional features in his speech. And then it's not the Krishna Katha, but it's some other Katha enters in the ears and makes us Vishayis, more materialistic, because it's poison. What happens if we drink poison? The poison goes in all the blood vessels everywhere. That poisonous Katha goes into the ears and encourages us, inspires us to get more materialistic. Whereas we are supposed to hear Bhagavatam from Srimad Bhagavatam Aswadito Rasikasaha. Aswado, relishing Srimad Bhagavatam from Rasik Vaishnavas, not just ordinary Vaishnavas. Rasik means realized Vaishnavas. Srila Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj used to sing this. Jao Bhagavat Pado Vaishnavera Sthane Ekanta Ashraya Karo Chaitanya Charane. He used to sing this. Go to Vaishnavas and hear Bhagavatam from them. Then you will understand the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam. Purport. Not just outline. But going to the inside story. So in that Srimad Bhagavatam, the example of King Muchkunda. Long story, some other time. King Muchkunda, who was sleeping in one cave, and who got the boons and blessings from the demigods. He asked these boons from demigods. I want to sleep. I don't want to get disturbed. But if anyone comes to disturb me, if I open my eyes, that person should turn to ashes. So Jarasan, the demon, he attacked on Krishna 17 times and failure. But the 18th time he brought Kal Yavan, a demon who had this boon that no Yaduvanshi can kill him. When Krishna saw Kal Yavan chasing him, he just showed his back and left the battlefield. Coward, huh? Any Kshatriya do this? Called coward. But if Krishna is doing this, it's glorious. And that makes him a Ranchod Bhagwan. कहाँ है रणछोड़? गुजरात में ना. रणछोड़ भगवान की जय. So Krishna, he knew this, and he entered that cave. A so-called King Muchkunda is sleeping there. So Krishna put his pitambar on King Muchkunda, and he was hiding in a corner. Kal Yavan, chasing Krishna, entered in the cave, and he saw Krishna is sleeping, and he kicked Krishna. Thinking it's Krishna, but he kicked that king. King Muchkunda opened his eyes, and Kal Yavan turned to ashes. Krishna is so clever, so tricky. Kal Yavan turns to ashes. And King Muchkunda, then he saw, wow, so beautiful, Krishna in front of me. He's standing right in front of me. And he said, a beautiful verse, glorifying Sadhu Sangha. He said, Bhavapapavargo brahmato yada bhave janasya tad achut satsamagama satsango yahi tade sadgata paraveshya toi jaite rathi. He said, oh Krishna, Bhavapapavargo brahmato yada, when the time of a living entity of his repeated cycle of birth and death comes to end, he come across Sadhu Sangha, and in Sadhu Sangha, he get realization of Krishna. Krishna smiled. O king, very pleased to hear you glorifying Sadhu Sangha, but you never done Sadhu Sangha in your life. Therefore, goodbye. I am going. First perform Sadhu Sangha and see you next life. That's how calculative Krishna is. King is seeing Krishna in front of him and is glorifying Sadhu Sangha. What more you need? Krishna hence proved there, just by lip service of glorifying Sadhu Sangha is not going to work unless you perform Sadhu Sangha and serve me in a favorable mood. So see you in next life. First go and do Sadhu Sangha. This is how calculative Krishna is. So in our case, I think it's going to be a failure approaching Krishna for this. We should approach the very merciful devotees of Krishna. Also because of the reason they are very independent in nature. Whereas Krishna, who claims he is independent, he is saying, I am not independent, I am dependent on my devotees. So where should we go? For multiple of reasons, we should approach and go to the devotees. And that's why we come to Sadhu Sangha. But when we come there, it hurts. Why it hurts? Because those Krishna interest devotees, they are not entertaining our mind. They are not here to entertain us. Their words sometimes appears very harsh, very rough, and sometimes it appears they are not polite, they are unpolite because they are correcting us. So we can't approach Krishna because we are not going to get anything there. So finally we're coming to the devotees, but then devotees are unpolite and rough. Why? Because they have no self-interest, they have Krishna interest. Tato dusangam usijyat sassu sajet buddhiman sand eva chindanti mono vyaksapan uktavi. Because those Krishna interest devotees, they carrying sword in their mouth to sever that knots which is there in our heart, in our mind from so many lifetimes, which is so difficult to cut those knots with our own practices. They cut that knot with their speech, and that's why it appears they are very rough, they are unpolite, but there cannot be no one well-wisher than those Krishna interest devotees. So all devotees are not on the same caliber. They are self-interest devotees, then they are Krishna interest devotees. How are we going to judge? With open mind, open eyes, and open ears. If they are here for self-interest or if they are here for our interest, means to get us in proximity of Krishna. So truly speaking, they are not going to entertain you. Yes, whatever you do is fine, very good, very nice. Oh, you're singing very good. No, the moment you do any wrong in your singing, they're going to correct you. No, your tal, your tone is not correct. You have to sing in this way. I'm not pointing out to you because I was trying to find any fault, but I didn't find any fault in her singing and her singing. Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati Arnahi Mo Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore Kalindera Kule Kili Kadambera Ratana Bedera Upa Boshabodhu Jana Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore. है ना? Krishna interest. Tato dusangam usijya. Giving up bad association and to be in a good association. How is that possible? On a practical ground, the worst bad association is always with us all day and night. And that is the association of our own mind. Is a bad association. Understand? We always try to make ourselves happy and entertain ourselves. And entertainment is always with mind. We individuals, we associate most of time with our mind and very few less time with intelligence. Can say if we hearing 1 hour Bhagavatam class, then 23 hours, I'm not offending any devotees, but it is a very general criteria. 23 hours we associate with our mind. And then 1 or 2 hours when we are in the association of devotees, why then we think? We get so much inspiration and our levels just go too high. Why? Because that moment we are not associating with mind, that is the moment we are associating with intelligence. Or the devotees is making us associating with intelligence. At that particular moment, we become intelligent. Then we start thinking what I did was wrong. What I was thinking was wrong. What I'm doing is wrong. Everything is wrong, 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 wrong. But after prasadam, driving back home, again mind. No, everything is right, fine. There is no problem. But that point, when we are in association, the devotees are merciful devotees. They're connecting us. Forget about your mind. And they are connecting us to the association of intelligence. That is called greed. They are evoking that greed by connecting us to intelligence. And when we get that intelligence, then Krishna start helping there. God help those. How Krishna is helping that time? How Krishna started helping? Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upyanti te. I supply intelligence by which you can come to me. Tesham satat yuktanam. If you have a desire to get yuktanam, connection with me, Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. To worship me with not on reverence, but worshipping me with preeti, with love and affection. That means I don't like very bhakti. I like Raganuga bhakti. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. Where Krishna himself is saying, Sakala jagat kare more very bhakti te braj bhav paite nai shakti. Most of the people in the world, they worship me with the mood of awe and reverence and opulent mood. But that's not pleasing to me. Because Aishwarya Shithil Prem Nahi More Preet. When the mood of opulence predominates, then my affection, my love get inferior, diminished there. So Teshas Satyad Yuktanam Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam. This is my liking. This Krishna is saying in Gita. This is my liking, for my pleasure. Worship me with affection, with love. Not just Om Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam. You are the Lord and I'm just your servant and we have so much distance. Krishna don't like this distance. Worship me with love and affection as Braj Lokanusarat, as my Brajvasis. Serve me under guidance of my Sakhas, Sridham Subal. Serve me under the guidance of my parents, Yashoda Maya Nand Baba. Serve me under the guidance of my Braj Gopis, Radharani. Because they have no opulence mood. They worship Krishna. They serve Krishna. They don't worship. They serve Krishna with love and affection. How Yashoda Maya serve Krishna? By
tying him.
By tying him and by showing the cane to Krishna and by pulling the ears of Krishna. This is called service? Yes. This is a service of parents. You know? There's a service of parents. When mother chastises, that's her love, that's her affection. So Yashoda Maya, she serves Krishna. Nanda Baba served Krishna by ordering him, bring my wooden shoes. Is that service? Krishna loves to hear this. Krishna, bring my shoes. And baby Krishna, with so much efforts and endeavors, trying to take one shoe, keep on his head. And then he takes the other one, the first one fall. And with so much endeavors, he just put toe shoes on his head and bring to Nanda Baba and place on his lotus feet. There's a service of Nanda Maharaj to Krishna. It looks like the service of Krishna to Nanda Maharaj. No, it's a service of Nanda Maharaj to Krishna, because it is done for Krishna interest, not self-interest there. Understand? Devaki Vasudeva have self-interest. What is the meaning of self-interest? They serve Krishna in a mood of opulence. Krishna killed Kamsa. He went to prison house to release Devaki and Vasudeva. And just by hearing, not even seeing that Krishna has killed Kamsa, Devaki Vasudeva fold hands and start praising Krishna and Balaram. Yujam natano soto sakshat pradhan purush ishvaro. Oh, you are not our children. You are beyond Prakriti. You are beyond nature. Material nature. You are Param Purusha. But Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya giving orders to Krishna, that's their service to Krishna. And that's appeals and pleasing to the ears of Krishna. And Krishna himself says, Priya yadi man kore kore varsan, Ved stuti haite hare mor man. বুঝতে পারছেন বাংলায়? প্রিয়া যদি মান করে করে ভর্সন, বেদ স্তুতি হাইতে হরে মোর মন। কি মানে?
Like the scolding of a dear one is more pleasing than the pleasing verses of Veda.
Correct. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita is easy for Bengali devotees to understand.
So unfair.
Huh? So unfair. You learn Bengali then. খুব মিষ্টি, খুব ভালো ভাষা। Priya yadi man kore. When my dear ones means Krishna indicating to Radharani and the gopis. When they abuse me, those abusive words of the Braj gopis and Radharani is so pleasing to my ears, more than hearing the stutis of the Vedas. I'm tired of hearing those. I'm tired. But the abusive words of the gopis, the intent is not abusive. The intent is to please Krishna. This is called Krishna Indya Priti Vancha. Dhare Prem Naam. So coming back to the example, Arjun, he didn't want to fight. That is his self-interest. Even though he's speaking wisely there. But Krishna said, this is not wise words. You're a coward. This is not wise word. This is not appealing to me. So, fight. Krishna wants to make his dear friend Arjun bringing to this level of making him understand you have to act with my interest. And my interest is there for you to fight. That's the seva of Arjun for Krishna. Fighting and killing. That's a service. So service have many areas. Intent has to be Krishna interest. Then no matter if you're fighting or killing. Krishna is provoking Arjun for this. So that's the service of Arjun for Krishna. Can anyone jump on the shoulders of Krishna on his head? It looks so offensive. But when the friends of Krishna, they jump on the shoulders of Krishna, they jump on the head of Krishna and make Krishna fall on the ground. Kabaddi khelte na? That's the service of the sakas. When Radharani extending her feet, Krishna, can you come and massage my feet? And Krishna in a very anukul, Dhir Lalita Nayak, when he comes, sits on the ground, on the floor, and massage the lotus feet of Radharani. So who's serving? Is Krishna serving Radharani? No, Radharani serving Krishna. Understand? If I massage Shrikant Prabhu's feet, so he's my master, then I'm his servant. Right? Krishna is massaging Radharani's lotus feet. That means Krishna is serving Krishna is serving and Radharani is enjoying their service. But no, here in this case, they both are serving each other. Krishna is serving by massaging the feet, and Radharani is serving by allowing Krishna to massage her feet. That's the beauty. This is called Krishna in the Priti Vancha. So if we want to really please Krishna, then go into the details of Chaitanya Charitamrita and details of Srimad Bhagavatam. Not just the outline, but the inside stories. Before everyone came, I was speaking to Achyuta Radhika. We were discussing about Dhruv Maharaj. So I asked some questions and she answered all questions rightly. I said, Dhruv Maharaj, which yuga was that? She said, Sati Yuga. Who was Dhruv Maharaj's guru? Was Dhruv Maharaj guru there? Narad Muni. What mantra he received? Everyone knows. Which forest he went to do austerities? Madhuban in Brajmanda. Understand? The outline story everyone knows. But what are the details? Even in that conducive and favorable environment, the place of performing austerities is not Washington. It's Brajmandal. What can be more big than Brajmandal? And that too Madhuban. Prominent amongst all the 12 forests is Madhuban. The place is so divine. Gurudev is high class. The mantra is topmost. The yuga is Sat Yuga, pure. Even after so many favorable and conducive situations, did Dhruv Maharaj change his attitude? No. He's Sakam Bhakta, is materially motivated. Even after getting initiation, receiving mantra, and in Madhuban, and in Satyuga, still his intent. I want to achieve what? What you want to achieve? A big throne, more big than his father. And not only father, his ancestors. Why he didn't change? Because what is the intent of Dhruv Maharaj going to forest? For Krishna interest? No, sir. That was self-interest. That's the difference. So every vairagya, every renunciation, everyone going forest is not one and the same thing. Every vairagya is not same. Dhruv Maharaj vairagya is materially motivated vairagya. Compare this vairagya with Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. Compare this vairagya with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Totally different. Mahaprabhu, after receiving sannyas, he is always uttering a verse from 11th canto Bhagavatam. Paraj Nishta. My purpose of taking sannyas is to Mukunda Seva Angri, to serve the senses of Mukunda. That's only my purpose of taking sannyas. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, some other time, very beautiful pastime. So restless to see Mahaprabhu. His renunciation. He's also going to forest. Sanatan Goswami going to forest. All these devotees. Compare them. So Dhruv Maharaj renunciation is self-interest. The intent was not to go to and worship Krishna and to serve Krishna. The intent was to get throne. So that's not the fault of Dhruv Maharaj. He's teaching us as a teacher in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sometimes teachers, they apply on them and they teach the students. All glories to Dhruv Maharaj. In 6 months he attained the Lord. All glories. But when he attained the Lord in 6 months, when he's seeing the beauty of the Lord, he's adoring the beauty of Lord, what he's asking for? May I become your servant? May I get your bhakti? What is asking? What is seeking for? First of all, he condemned his moods. Sthana vilashi sthiti tapasyaham tam praptavan dev murundra giyam kacham vichinpya api divya ratnam swami kirtartha asmi varam nayache. The Lord said, Dhruv, enjoy the planet Earth for 36,000 of years. Swami Kritartha Asmi Varam Nayache. Please be grateful to me. Don't give me this kind of wounds. No, you came for this, right? I was, but all these facilities, all these benefits is just like broken pieces of glasses in comparison with Divya Ratnam. I attained you. You are a Divya Ratnam, you transcendental jewel. And I came for broken pieces of glasses. So first of all, he condemned himself. And that's the symptom of bhakti. When bhakti comes in the heart, how we come to know bhakti comes in the heart? First of all, regret. Regret comes. Why regret comes? Melting of heart. Bhakti comes in the heart and the heart gets melted. And when the heart melts, one feels repentance and regrets. Dhruv Maharaj repenting and regretting for the purpose he came to the forest. Just for the throne. These are broken pieces of glasses. So first of all he condemned himself. And then, then what he's seeking from Lord? Not his proximity. Bhakti may parvartam toime prasango bhuyat ahantamatma amla shainam. O Lord, please assign me the association of your devotees. He's not saying, I want your association. He's not saying, I want your proximity. He's not saying, I want to attain you. That means he even overlapped that. He made the darshan of the Lord inferior in comparison with the association of devotees. Dhruv Maharaj is teaching us. If someone asks us, we will say, oh, association of devotees is always there. Krishna, I want you. That's our criteria. But Dhruv Maharaj, being a teacher, with his own example, is teaching us. I don't want your association. Bhakti may parvartam toi me prasango bhuyat ahantamatma. Those pure devotees who are always immersed in narrating your pastimes, I just want that. So he minimized the darshan of the Lord in comparison with the association of devotees. Because in that association, we get aligned to our intelligence. And that intelligence, dadami buddhi yogam tam. Krishna said, then I supply that intelligence, means I take over that intelligence and make it purified so that you can easily come to me. So concluding, that's why Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas said, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai. Love Matra Sadhu Sangha. Just one lecture or one moment association can dissipate all darkness of bad association and can ignite that fire which is so difficult to ignite. They create this fire. Who? The devotees. The fire of lolyam, the greed. To hear more, and more. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
Bhakti
Krishna.
Vedanta Siddhanta Maharaj ki jai.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Good. Any question?
I have one question. You talked about you have to serve the interest of Krishna. Maybe I don't know. How do you know what is the interest of Krishna?
To know the interest of Krishna, that's why we need to come every time to hear in the association of devotees, because they can impart that knowledge and they can give us the clear understanding what Krishna is expecting from us. Krishna is, as I said, he's not expecting just our donation or flowers or fruits. Even though he said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, I'm very easily get satisfied if anyone offers me a leaf, a flower or fruit or just a cup of water. Yeah. But provided it has to be with love, not just a formality or just a duty bound. Oh, it's my duty, I should do this. So what Krishna is expecting from us is just love, which is very difficult to develop.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
point.
so easy to say.
It's easy to say.
Yeah.
And why is it so difficult? Because it's a different nature. You know, two person, different nature, is so difficult to develop love. A person with the same nature is easy. A person of the same nature is easy to develop love. So our nature means we have material senses and material conceptions, whereas Krishna's senses are transcendental. So it's a contrast there. Material and transcendental. So to make our senses transcendental, to get aligned with the senses of Krishna, which is transcendental, we need to associate with transcendental personalities and transcendental scriptures to get transcendentalness in our senses, in our conceptions, in our perceptions, and then it gets so easy to get aligned with Krishna. So, if you recall, in the middle of the lecture I said how this association helps us, because most of the time we associate with our mind. So, okay, to make it more clear, we see each other, this is gross body made of 5 elements. But then there is a subtle body which we can't see. And the composition of subtle bodies, mind, intelligence and false ego. So we can't see mind, you can't see my mind, I can't see your mind. And intelligence, you can't see my intelligence, I can't see your intelligence. And then ego. These 3 are ingredients, the composition of the subtle body. We means our senses, our perceptions, most of the time the perception of the senses is because of the association of mind. We always we are aligned with mind. We use less intelligence. For example, if I'm diabetic and Mataji brought rasgullas, but my mind is running towards rasgullas. I want to grab 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I'm diabetic, my intelligence will say, no, it looks like a sweet balls, but for you it's like a sweet poison. So don't take, don't touch. But that moment, seeing rasgulla, I want to grab and eat, because I am associating with my mind. Mind is pushing me or creating that urge or craving that urge to eat that rasgulla. But immediately, intelligence is going to stop me. That's why sometimes people say I'm double-minded. It's not double-minded, it's the decision of mind and the decision of the intelligence. There's a collision within us. It's always fighting with each other. Most of the time, we only listen to mind. Very few we listen intelligence, the words of intelligence. So when we are in association, when in this kind of lecture, the devotees by hearing from them, we forget for that time being, we forget the mind and we start acting very intelligent. Yes, this is true. This is the purpose of our life. Because who knows when we're going to die? All this, good thoughts and intelligent thoughts start coming. That means I'm now directly associating with my intelligence in that time frame when we are in the association of devotees. Or we pose ourselves good devotees. We try to become good when we are in association of devotees. But moment this Harikatha ends and when I go to my room, I turns to bad. Because then no one is watching me. You know? So this is the benefit in association. Imagine if 1 hour association, we start getting intelligent and intellect to understand the purpose of my life, and whatever is being said is true. In fact, it's true, but I'm not realizing this. We're getting conviction that it's true. This is because of intelligence. So imagine 1 hour intelligence is giving us such high purpose of life, and those who get 5 hour, 10 hour, 15 hours in association of devotees, how high intellect and intelligence they have. And that's why the devotees, the pure devotees, they always be right, yes. They never do wrong. Whereas we conditioned souls, because of with our decisions with our mind, we always wrong. But in that lecture, we start believing we are wrong. Other times we don't believe we are wrong. So why in the lecture we start believing we are wrong? Because intelligence level gets activated there, hyper activated there.
You don't focus on your self-interest.
Yes. So imagine how powerful is that level of getting aligned with intelligence. It's such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And that's why association is a very powerful weapon.
In the same association, right? We all come to a place, we want to be in an association with people who are serving Krishna. We talked about self-interest and Krishna's interest.
Yes.
But when you are coming to a place, we don't know who is coming there for self-interest, who is coming for Krishna's interest. And that association, is the right association or not, we don't know. So, my question is that when we do something, we don't worry about other people's interest, we think about
Our own interest.
our own interest.
Yes.
See, that interest is not self-interest, but it's Krishna's interest. Right? Am I thinking right?
No, even in the lectures, in the classes, many people come for many reasons.
Right.
Some come to check on the speaker. Let me go and see what the speaker is going to speak.
Right.
Some goes to, well, it's a very funny. Some decorate themselves and want to show off that I got a very good earring, so I want to show to the audience, okay, I have a new sari and a new earrings. Some come for this interest, to show one's outfit, one's beauty. You know, there are many, many reasons. Very few percentage of devotees, they only come for Krishna interest. I want to hear about Krishna, because that's the only media the Krishna goes into the ears and comes to the heart. With that pure intent, Krishna interest. That's called Krishna interest. So very few. In a temple, if there are 500 people coming for lecture, they're not on the same level and they're not for the same purpose. But we don't have to do anything with whoever comes with whatever interest. I have to focus on my interest.
Okay. Which is still a self-interest.
Huh?
Which is still a self-interest.
But it's a good
But
self-interest.
a good self-interest towards Krishna.
Bas.
Okay.
We do have bacteria. The good bacteria, the bad bacteria, right, in our body itself. So, but the both terms are bacteria. The good ones and the bad ones. So self-interest is there, but it's a good
With
self-interest.
self-interest.
It's
Okay.
not a bad self-interest.
Right.
That's
To
my,
the betterment of me.
for betterment of me. So at least I have to come to
To
this
self-interest.
level first,
Right.
and then I'm going to cross another level.
Yeah.
I'm going to another level. But we have to come to the first stair and then the second stair. But if you're just not even climbing the first stair, I'm going to go to first floor. So this self-interest is a good self-interest because it's going to lead me to a higher purpose, means to the top floor. You know, so that's a good self. That's a good bacteria. You got my point?
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
That was a good question.
So, Maharaj, thank you for the lecture. So continue on that topic. As most of, and I am on the sadhana, and so I'm usually not associating with people on sadhana level only. So we have mixed interest. Sometimes self-interest, sometimes Krishna.
Yes. This is our sadhana.
Usually this is the sadhana state.
Yes.
So but then that is the only association mostly I have with devotees. I guess my question is, how do we then make this association? I'm also thinking about nectar of instruction, verse 4. Guhyam Achari.
Dadati pratiginnati guyam akhyati prachati.
So how do we reveal? I mean, I have this, I'm a mixed person. I have my self-interest as well as trying to cultivate some Krishna interest.
That's why we need.
Yeah, so
We have to We have to increase the Krishna interest. We have to increase the Krishna interest over the self-interest. For that, we need the association of the devotees of Krishna. So more and more association is needed to increase the level of Krishna interest and giving up the self-interest.
so this revealing the heart, confidentially revealing the heart, Guhyam
To those who are,
is the conversation of this,
yes,
right?
yes,
Trying to increase the Krishna
yes,
interest.
yes.
And give up and
Revealing the heart for Krishna interest.
And if I'm failing to do this, then I can share with this devotee.
Yes.
And I should not be shameful.
Should be open.
I should be open. I can be vulnerable so that I can make this progress.
Yes. True.
Yes.
I agree to this. This is a process. And we are trying our best, whatever we can. But this is not the best. We have to become the best.
And sometimes I think this is quite, in my mind, it's quite a complicated process, because sometimes whom we meet may be honest, but then maybe doesn't have any Krishna interest at all. And in that case, I might want to run away from that person. And if I'm
We can understand easily by hearing a person that the person is speaking about Krishna interest or self-interest. It's very easy to understand.
if the person is struggling and does not have any Krishna interest, but intent to develop Krishna, in that case,
That
I
is
guess we can be compassionate and be accompany that person in his struggle.
true. True. Thank you so much. Okay, so can we end up with a Mahamantra? 5 minutes? So we're ending up with the Maha Mantra and then Prasadam.